PK in the universe, and I am back again. Today, I thought I'd do a bit of a rant video. Haven't done a rant video in quite a while. Today, I want to talk about the topic of sealed games. Sealed games. It's something I've just never liked, have never been a fan of, and I just think overall, it's kind of silly to collect sealed games. Like, why do people do this? I don't get it, honestly. I mean, why do you collect sealed games? To me, that just doesn't make any sense. The point of having a video game, especially a sealed video game, is to play it. The idea is you would own something to play it. Now, I understand there's people who, maybe don't read their original comic or something, like if they have a copy of like Amazing Fantasy 15. I get things being sealed if they're historically significant and like insanely rare, something that you think, oh, that would be something that would go in a museum, or something that would be like, oh, like let's say you're one of those professional video game archivists and you want the cleanest possible copy of a ROM to dump. I understand, getting a sealed game for that purpose. But, obviously if you wanted a clean dump of a ROM, buying a sealed game would be a smart move, because sometimes if a game has, been sitting in somebody's dusty old, warehouse or wherever, and it's collecting dust, that might compromise the integrity of the board and maybe it wouldn't play as correctly as it should. So in that sense, I understand, going after sealed games. But this whole buying games sealed and just not opening them, I think is just dumb. I think it's like the equivalence of Toy Story jail. Things need to be freed. I also think there's some collectors who maybe have just bought too many games. Like there's those people who have like thousands of Nintendo Switch physical games and they're just sitting on a shelf because they have no time to play them. But that's another problem in itself. That's almost a separate conversation, of people who are just collecting for the sake of collecting. Some people are outright hoarding. I hate to say that, but some people, they're hoarding. They couldn't even tell you why they have this or that game or what it means to them or what the purpose of even keeping it is, other than they want it on their big old shelf of red games, That's unfortunately how a lot of people are, but that's their money at the end of the day. And you could say, hey, at the end of the day, it's everybody's money what they purchase. It shouldn't matter to anybody. And it's like, well, yeah, but this is the internet and you're allowed to have opinions. And that's kind of the funny thing. I mean, people can disagree with this video and that's totally fine. And if you disagree, and it's like, you don't have to justify your purchases to me personally. I'm just some random guy on the internet. That's the thing. People are just too eager and in a hurry to explain themselves, I think is an underlying problem in itself too, is people just want to, justify why they bought this or that, and, some people can disagree with you and you can just not react or react, it's certainly up to you. I just think it's kind of silly and a waste of time and a waste of money to just, collect for the sake of collecting, and I mean, that could go with unsealed games too, but like, especially sealed games. I mean, when people have a sealed game on their shelf, the idea is maybe, who knows, maybe they're just holding on to it as an investment to sell it, which I think is kind of dumb, really, because the game prices fluctuate a lot. Sometimes a game could be real hot for a while, and then all of a sudden it'll just plummet. Or sometimes it could go up. I mean, these things are not the most solid investment. I mean, some specific, incredibly, insanely rare games will always hold their value, but some things will, go in trends and phases. Like when Shenmue 3 was first announced, the price of Shenmue 1 and 2 on Dreamcast and Xbox, even the Xbox version, just shot up like crazy. I remember Shenmue was selling for like $100. Kind of wish I had sold it then, because now it's back down to like a more normal, reasonable price. But people were going crazy over, because a certain, when an IP, gets revived like that, that definitely affects the price of games. So I think, like I see why some people do collect a sealed game is because they think of it as an investment. But I think personally, just for me personally, I think that's a terrible reason to be collecting, honestly. And you get a lot of these, like recently I saw some tweet about how some collectors were not happy that prices have, gone back to more reasonable levels on certain games. And a lot of that is because people have already got what they want, so they aren't looking for those games anymore. There's fewer and fewer people interested in certain collections. Like look at right now, I think the GameCube is still hot, for the most part, because, the people who grew up with it all of a sudden have an expendable income, and they're like, oh yeah, I have all this extra money. I'm going to spend it on, childhood games, get my childhood back. But you'll never get your childhood back because, nothing will replace the feeling of being 7 years old like I was when I first got Super Mario RPG and put it in for the first time. I'm never getting that back, and I have no delusions about that. But some people are convinced that they can buy their childhood back, and you just can't. That's just my opinion. I think nostalgia is another topic and conversation there too. But I just think it's like putting your games in Toy Story jail. Those games deserve to be, free to breathe. When you unseal a game, I feel like you're liberating that game. You're not keeping it in prison. It's like, and then you got these people who, buy the graded games or whatever, those WATA games or whatever. I just think I feel like those are the Darth Vader of game collectors. Like literally, it's like freezing Han Solo and Carbonite. That's what it is. Those are the Darth Vader of game collectors. And some might wear that with a badge of honor, and some that might rub people the wrong way. But that's what it is. I mean, you're sealing it and preserving it for, I don't know. There's no reason to have it then because, the whole purpose of it was to be played. It's like if people are going to collect stuff that has, a function. It's just a weird thing to me. And people do this with comics too, I guess, and other things. Like I understand collecting baseball cards. Like I collected baseball cards as a kid. Those things have no purpose but to collect. They are purposely, explicitly designed for collecting. Those, special statues or whatever, like was the NECA ones. They weren't designed for kids to play with. Like my, turtles I have from the 1980s, my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection, which used to be my collection. And then I just gave it to my son because I got to a point where I'm like, I'm a 37-year-old man. Why in the world would I be, collecting these toys from my childhood when my son could literally be playing with them? I just feel like a creep to have not given them to him, and that's what I chose to do, and I think that was a good move. Those things were designed to be played with. So when something is explicitly designed to be played or used, it just feels weird to keep it sealed and purposely not collect it. And some people might be like, well, I'm saving it for a rainy day to open it one day. Yeah, and that rainy day may never come. You may end up just selling everything because you're sick of it. You might come on to financial hard times. There's all kinds of different reasons people end up selling their sealed games they never bothered to open or even try out and play and enjoy. At the end of the day, some people are just converting the money they have into plastic. And sometimes, again, this plastic can fluctuate in value and price. Sometimes it can just plummet. Especially people who buy games on day one. That person who's excited about Bayonetta 3 and bought it. And you know what? Hold on one second. Oh, sorry. I just bought this today for $9, and that's the original Bayonetta. Some people probably bought Bayonetta brand new for $60 or whatever it cost on Xbox 360 back in the day. That game has devalued significantly for a lot of reasons. One, it was on the Wii U, and as Bayonetta 1 and 2 as one thing, like Bayonetta 1 came free with Bayonetta 2 for a while, and then Bayonetta 2 just sold by itself. And then, of course, it's on Switch. I think it's a digital code on the Switch version, but in Japan, I think there's a physical version, or maybe they sell it separately now. I don't even know anymore. I haven't been really keeping track of that, but Bayonetta's been a hot topic in the gaming community. People have opinions, so many opinions everywhere about this topic. This is the hot topic that people are talking about. But but I'm getting a little off track here, getting a little sidetracked here. So let's get grounded back into sealed games. Sealed games. What do they go for? And now some of you guys are probably like, I bet you, PK, I bet you have a couple of sealed games lying around that you aren't even going to bother to open. You're a hypocrite, PK. You're a hypocrite. Okay, fair enough. I do have 3 sealed games, and these games don't have any sentimental value to me at all. So guess what? I'm going to open them on camera right here at the end of this video. Yeah, and I think something being sentimental kind of makes sense to keep it sealed, especially if you have other ways to play it. Maybe you have an additional physical version of it, but maybe you're just keeping it to preserve. And I understand this perspective. It's not one I'm really excited about. And I understand this perspective. It's not one that I really subscribe to, but I get it to a certain point. Maybe you're just deeply nostalgic for a certain game, so you feel the need to have a sealed copy of it. I get it to a certain point, but yeah, for me, at the end of the day, I think sealed collecting is dumb, honestly, because of the point of owning games is to be able to play them, not to just look at them, not to fill up a shelf, but to actually enjoy these games, these experiences. Video games are an experience like no other because they combine like so many things. They, especially newer games, combine all this art and cinema and interactive, you know, it helps you become part of the experience. It's all those things just rolled into one. And that's what I love about video games. So anyways, yeah, so I got three games here right here. And I'm going to open these bad boys up. And you guys, you know, you can tell me what you think of the games I opened up and which ones you think I should play first. So let's start with the most recent game I got. I actually just got this a couple days ago. I didn't know when I was going to get around to it, but maybe I'll play this sooner than later. Let's open this bad boy up here. And this is Cris Tales. Let's see what we got in here. Whoa, what's this? What do we got here? Meet our development partners in module games. Modest games, excuse me. Modest games. Games are made around the globe. Whoa, what's in here? What's in here? What do we got here, guys? We got something. Usually I expect to see like nothing in here. There's actually a poster in here. Oh, this is cool. There's a freaking poster in here. That's awesome. I did not expect to get a poster when I opened this, so that's quite a treat. A full color poster of the game. You don't see that every day. Yeah, and of course here's the case. And up next we got, check it out, we got Pikmin 3. My friend Super Nintendo actually, I think I got this from him and like I traded something, I want to say. Yeah, and I love the Wii U, so I know I will play this. My son really loves Pikmin Adventure on Nintendo Land, so I'm sure he'll enjoy the heck out of this. What do we got here? Oh, and this is, of course, this is not a player's choice. This is the original. Ooh. You guys remember these? I remember the good old days when you could, like, what's the word? You could get points and stuff and actually get real stuff, unlike the one they have now. Oh, look, back in the day. You know, Wii U used to have, you know, Hulu Plus and Netflix and Amazon. Now I think it's got YouTube. Maybe YouTube's not on there anymore. I don't even know anymore. It's been so long. It also has like advertisements for Sing Party, Nintendo Land, Super Mario Brothers U. Oh, look at that. Look at that. An actual manual with the game. It's a color manual. A color manual with a Wii U game. Man, you don't see that every day. Oh my gosh. There's not a lot going on here. This is a pretty small manual, but it's just cool that it even, it's got a, yeah, look at that. It's unbelievable. An actual legit color manual. You do not see Wii U games with color manuals too often, so that's pretty darn cool. I'm really glad I opened this one because I think I will genuinely play it. Yeah, it's something else here. Oh man, yeah, that's pretty amazing. And up next, this is a game I actually won in a contest. Ryan Phoenix from RPG Tour Guide had held a contest, and this was one of the prizes, and this is Final Fantasy IX. I have Final Fantasy 7 and 8 on PS1, and I just thought, oh, I'll open it when I have time to play it, and I don't know when that day is coming, so I'm going to open it up. And it's, of course, it's the greatest hits version. This has never been opened. Opening a PlayStation 1 game. Man, oh man. I have devalued this. I'm sure some people are angry in the comments section. Well, probably not really. I mean, some people might be, but... So there's disc 1, and then there's a manual. It's got a manual, of course. Nice manual on the second disc. I wonder how many discs... Man... Now this is a black and white manual, but it's cool that it's a manual at all. It's got a nice, it's pretty thick. It's a pretty thick little manual for the most part. Yeah, that's nice. So it's got two discs, 3 discs, never been opened copy of Final Fantasy IX. Cool. Yeah, this is 4 discs total. So yeah, there you have it, folks. My sealed games have all been unsealed now. I no longer have any sealed games. So yeah, I'm just not a fan of sealed games. I think in 99.99% of cases, games should be opened, played, and enjoyed. That's just my opinion. What are your guys' thoughts? I know this is a divisive topic, and some people are going to have some opinions. Maybe some might like, some I might not like. It just is what it is. What do you guys think? Comment below. Love to hear what you have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay awesome in this universe. Thanks. Bye.